Hi guys, welcome. Good evening and welcome to one more episode of Booktrovert. Now sitting here today in this month of love, well, although February is almost coming towards an end, uh, you know, I would like to share with you all today. Not just some. It's not just about the books or not just something from them or some stories, etc. But it's a very I would say very deep sort of realization that the way that we are all connected. It's via our love for all these books, right? The way we love books, the way we love reading them, we read all these different love stories in all these books, and how we assume that if they would come from the pages of the books, they would come to reality. Probably they would come to us if we could live those stories. And that brings me to this realization that when we read about all these love stories in the different books, did you guys ever think that there is no one particular definition of love, or there is no one particular way in which you could define love per se? Well, love is all around us. Love is what we have for books, love is what we have for each other, the way we connect. Love is what we share with our parents, our siblings, our family, our friends, our pets, everywhere. Love could be in the form of the love for God, as when the master Rumi talks about his love for God, as he perceives God as his beloved. Love could be in the way when Mr. Darcy proposes Elizabeth in Pride and Prejudice, or Jane Eyre and Mr. Rochester, the way they fall in love, and they live their beautiful love story after a period of trials and tribulations. So also, in the Bard's writings, you have Romeo and Juliet, you have a very beautiful love story of in Midsummer Night's Dream, you have these beautiful love stories, and the lovers, how they go in this enchanted forest, they're tricked by the fairies. So these love stories, they are everywhere. But there cannot be any particular way in which you can talk about love or define love or anything like that, right? Now, today, I'll not just talk about this, but I'll also tell you about how I discovered two very different forms of love through two very special books. These two books, they are extremely special to me. Now, the very first book that I'll be telling you about today is, I'm sure all of you have heard about this. I mean, this is like a timeless classic, and this is Eric Segal's Love Story. Now, when I read Love Story for the first time, I was a kid. I guess I was in school or probably in college. That was the first time when I read Eric Segal's Love Story, and trust me, till today, I feel like, if I could have a love story like Oliver and Jenny. And I know it didn't really end on a good note for them, that he had to lose Jenny, and there were a lot of difficulties which they triumphed over. But if you read this book, the very essence of this young love, and how, and at the first love, and when you fall in love for the first time and you choose to be with that person forever, and that everything that falls into place, and you just shun the world. You do not want to be with the world anymore, and you just want to be with each other. The world is full of people who will be against you, who will be objecting your union, but you just want to be with that person. And there's one very special quotation in this book, one very special quote, which I have always carried with me since the time that I've read this book. And it says that love means that you never have to say sorry again. So, that is something that has stayed with me ever since I read this book. And trust me, now when I read it, I'm a grown up person now, but that very essence of falling in love for the first time and being with that person, and then all that joys and sorrows and everything that comes with it, that everything that very sort of blends together really perfectly in this book. Now, Segal has written a lot of other books as well, but if you would like to start over, if you guys would not have already read this book, please do read it. And in this month of love, in this season of love, when love is everywhere, you can very well start and pick up your copy of Love Story. Now, the second book that I'm going to talk about is that book portrays a very, very different form of love from that is being portrayed in this book. Now, love is also, like I said, is also something that you share with your friends, right? So, if the friend is really, really very dear to you, a friend is, I mean, somebody that you grew up with, your inseparable buddy, somebody who is like a brother or a sister to you, and how far, can you go for that person if you really love that person? How strong is your love? Where will that take you? How much pain, how much strength is there in that love of yours that will make you bear all sorts of pain for that person? And you might be thinking which book I'm talking about, and the book that I'm talking about is none other than one of my really, really favorite books, extremely favorite book, and that is Khaled Hosseini's The Kite Runner. And this book, again, since the time that I have read this book, this is set in Afghanistan, which is Mr. Hosseini's homeland actually. And due to the start of the Taliban regime over there and all sorts of political turmoils and upheavals in that country, he had to leave, and then he sought asylum in the United States, and now he is a resident of, I think, California. Now, the way Mr. Hosseini takes us back to his homeland and treats us to this kite running festival that he had seen in his childhood, and the very facets of Afghanistan, the people, the food, the festival, the colors, the friendship, the pain, love, everything that is there. That, again, this is another book that blends it all together so well. And these two friends, Amir and Hassan, they grow up together. They are almost like brothers. In fact, they are brothers. You would get to know that if you read the book. So these two friends, they have such a deep, deep love that I have not really seen in many friendships, even in reality. And just because of that love that Hassan has for Amir, if you read the book, you'll see that after a certain point of time, Amir actually gives up, and he's not really strong to take whatever life offers to him, or really, he's not being able to be there for his friend. But Hassan is somebody who is so selfless, so pure in his love for Amir that he just gives it all for him, And again, very much like Segal's love story, this book has one very special quote which has always stayed with me and will be staying with me forever, I guess, which says that for you, 1,000 times over. How much strength do we have in our love for our friends? To how many people we would be able to say that yes, there is so much strength in my love for you that I can do this for you 1,000 times over, and probably I'll never ever do anything that I would have to say sorry to you ever again. So if your love is that strong, if you think that yes, I would like to know such strengths in love, I would like to feel it, I would like to live the story of Oliver and Jenny, or I would like to live the story of Hassan and Amir's friendship in Afghanistan, then please, my friends, take your time and just let yourself be immersed in these two beautiful, beautiful books. Again, you'll get the links with the video, so please go and collect those books and read them. And I would also like to add here that we would really like to thank all of you guys for showing us your love in YouTube as well. And many of you have already subscribed, but there are a few of you who are not yet there with us on YouTube. So it's one small humble request that if you could just carry your love for us. We are talking about love. So in this month of love, just shower us more and more with your love, because that is what we need, right? So please shower us with your love in YouTube also. We'll share the link of our YouTube channel once again for your benefit. So please do subscribe and do like, share and comment on this video as well. And again, as we always promise, we'll be back very soon with a new video. Thank you.